for example, customer involvement in software development?
Right. So actually, if you talk about Agile came about as a solution to these problems.
Okay.
And Agile was fundamentally different from what the traditional methodologies were.
Mm-hmm.
So Agile, if you talk about the software development, is an iterative, incremental approach towards software development.
Okay.
Where you have the work cut out clearly in terms of tasks, where you have people involving themselves as a unit rather than having separate activities of, say, I'm a developer, I'm a tester, and I'm a manager. So in traditional methodologies, we used to have these people having different roles and responsibilities.
One guy doing requirements, one guy doing development. Okay.
But then when Agile came about, they actually stressed the importance of cross-functional, self-organizing teams.
Okay.
And it was very important when they laid importance on this part of self-organizing in cross-functional teams, was because they realized that as a team, as a unit, you would perform better than just being directed on what you are supposed to do.
Okay.
And this is how Agile kind of helped address all these problems that I talked about.
Okay.
And we actually know about this Agile Manifesto also. So Agile Manifesto is what came about in 2001.
Okay.
And that is where a structure was brought about to these lean principles, the lean methodologies.
Okay.
And that's where we know that Agile was conceived.
Okay. So if I am developing software and I want to use Agile, right? How do I make sure that my end users are involved? Sure, it's iterative. So do you mean to say that every few days you'll release a working prototype and then users will get to play with it?
Right. So one thing that Agile majorly focuses on is providing a working software.
Okay.
In fact, when now coming back to the Agile Manifesto that I mentioned earlier, so Agile Manifesto talks about 4 major values, 4 principles which are pretty much the standard, I would say, values that any of the software development companies who are following Agile should follow as well.
Okay.
One thing they talk about is giving importance to individuals and interactions over processes and tools that we used to do in the traditional methodologies.
Okay.
Secondly, they talk about working software. A working software is more important than comprehensive documentation.
Okay.
Then another thing that they talk about is having, laying more importance to
customer interaction
over contract negotiation. Yeah.
Okay.
So customer interactions are very important. They're very, very important and that is what has been realized over the years that the software development industry has been now. That the more you involve the customer, the more you'll get to know what the customer wants.
So instead of sitting down for a month and trying to jot down everything under the sun as a requirement, then it's spending another 6 months trying to build something and go back and customer says, gosh, I didn't need it.
Already make. So
yeah,
you are saying we've been faced with these questions also. And
so you are saying we in Agile we make small releases every few days or every few weeks, and the customer gets to see and they can say, okay, yeah, this is what I wanted, this is what I didn't want. Let's go and do another run